Hello everybody and welcome to another community fortress. This is the fortress of Heavenfall, and this was submitted on the Discord by Horrigant. Some of you might remember the kind of incredible golden glacier fortress that was built on a recent community fort, and this is by the same creator. So we'll be diving in and having a look at another kind of literal work of art in this one. If you would like to send in a fortress for me to have a look at on this show, you can do that via my Discord server. Simply join my Discord and send in a save to the DF Save sharing room. This is the last recording session I am doing for saves that are actively on there. So if you would like to have a high chance of getting something shown on this show rather quickly, now's a good time to send in a fortress. But for this fortress specifically, let's dive in. So, once again, this is a member of the Matched Basement and the Paddle of Martyring. And when we jump in here, you're going to notice something a little bit different from my normal forts that I look at in this series. We're starting at the top because we're on layer 89, and we are going to be scrolling down slowly. Now, the fortress is under siege, and maybe we'll mess around with that a little bit. But as for the fortress itself, we can see that we have this tiny little microcline statue of Zul'Ban. Boltworks. And we can begin moving down. So as we slowly move down in here, you're going to see a lot of repeated layers. This is what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 before we get to the next layer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, now we're actually getting to the base of the tower. We can move through and see the artifact halls, one by one, surrounded by bars of pure gold. More artifact halls, more artifact halls, more artifact halls. I don't even know how they built this. And look at this, a wild lungfish. What are you doing up here, buddy? Anyway, more artifact halls, and more artifact halls, and more artifact halls. I bet you this fortress started in the year 100 and has gone to year 90. But upon gazing at their description, this fortress is 40 years old, which, man, I feel like it's way older than that. Then we have some catapults. I love little constructions like this. I'm assuming, okay, they aren't made out of artifacts, but they look like they could be. But I love little machine constructions like this, just as art pieces. As we move down, we start getting into the pinwheel designs. These almost look like apertures to me. It just reminds me of aperture science. We get deeper. And then here we start getting to assigned bedrooms. So we have the Duke's room, and as well as, office and dining hall and all that. And then another, literally everything the Duke needs, right? We've got the coffin. We've got the office, I assume. We've got either the office or the dining hall, or actually, dining room, office, bedroom. There, I can read. I'll just read. That makes life a lot easier. Then down here we have this facehugger-looking room that, of course, is assigned to everybody as offices and various other needed spaces. And then we get to the prison layer, which is sealable, I assume, by pulling this lever. And then we can continue moving down. Actually, what is that lever connected to? I wonder. Steel bridge. Okay, yeah, it locks off those two bridges. So we'll close the blast doors. And then as we move down, we get another layer of prison. And another layer of prison. And then down here, we begin making it to the multi-layered rooms. This is just going to keep impressing, as far as I'm concerned. Making circles like this is a pain. Then, as we get down here, we get to the guild hall layer. So we've got guild halls all the way around the edges. And then, of course, the library, the Vault of Silver. The library of the Vault of Silver has 874 books in it. My God. Continuing to move down, we have, another library layer as part of the Vault of Silver, and of course another library layer as part of the Vault of Silver. And then this. Now, I'm curious about something. I wonder how many gold bars were used in the making of this. 18,832. 41,070 copper bars. My mother in Christ. That's a lot of platinum. So now the question is, how long do you think it would have taken for this to open before the recent optimizations of clicking on the stock screen? If you even go back and watch some of the earlier fortresses of this series, there's a few points where I click on the stock screen and I have to edit because I have to wait for 40 seconds. Down here, first tomb layer, second tomb layer. And then down here we get to the forges with this incredible little spiral symbol in the middle, all surrounded with the various forges you would need. Water and ice. That is something. Jeez, man. continue to move down. Of course, if you would like to get any of these save files yourself, they are also just on my Discord. So if you go to the DF Save sharing room, I think that this particular fortress is, this one's just hosted directly on Discord. So you can just go download it if you so desire. As I continue to scroll down, we eventually can start to see the outside of the walls, and we can see the tubes where the lava was pumped up from. There's, of course, resources and stockpiles. And as we move down a little further, there's more resources and more crafting and stockpiles. We can start zooming in now. Various materials all the way around, all combined with different infinite stockpiles. This is... somebody commented on Horrigant's last fort that they sent in, which is, this isn't Dwarf Fortress anymore. This is now just art. And I kind of agree. This is just art. And wait until you see this embark, too. It's not going to be what you expect. We've got more bedrooms. So bedrooms, bedrooms, bedrooms. So bedrooms, 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 bedrooms. And this glorious tower, of course, is housing 211 dwarves, and everybody's ecstatic. I mean, I would be too if I lived in this pillar of gold. We move down, and you can see these black bronze walls, these pillars that are holding up the edges of the walls, all in its own pattern. We're going to have to do a clear of this in ASCII in a second as well. And then we get down to the more main layers. We can see the pump set up down here, as well as alcohol storage and temples. Yes. And we move down one more layer, and we can hit Z. We can see the massive tavern, as well as the massive dining hall for all the dwarves. Of course, the main temples and the remaining edge temples around the sides. Kitchens, of course, and we're almost on the main layer of the fort. There's a whole ton of giant tigers around the edges. And here's the machines. So I can unpause this fort, and we can see how well it runs, and also how many of these are actively powered and what they're powered by. We move down a layer. You can see that a lot of these are just here as decorations, but they are functioning. As for how they're functioning, that's a good question. I don't actually know what's powering these. They are spinning. Are they connected to anything? Huh. I don't know how those wheels are spinning. They must have, got them spinning and then, removed the thing that was making them spin in some sort of weird... Yeah, I don't know. I'm at a loss. That's interesting. Over here, we have, of course, the water wheels, which do have power going around and up to here, which then goes over this way and up to here, which is pumping water. And the water is being pumped from down here in this river. Now, this actual embark is a really cool little waterfall embark. We got this big old waterfall kind of heading off the side of the map in this very large river. And also, this fortress doesn't end, but I did say that we were going to do an ASCII zoom up. So I'm going to swap over to ASCII, and we're going to take a real quick look at each layer that we just looked at. Oh, by the way, there's 2 other towers that we have to look at too. There's so much here, it's absurd. Good Lord, that is gorgeous. This looks like something the legendary Cupo would make. Absolutely beautiful work here. So we now have to go take a look at those purple constructions over on the sides, which you can't even see in the normal ASCII view. So there's this little tower over here that's mostly made out of black bronze. And it just kind of goes up. Seems like this was just an extra art project on the edge. It doesn't actually have any practical purpose. Aside from that, there's a bunch of stairs climbing. They saw a dead goblin. That's strange. I don't know why they are there, but they are there. So that's, I guess, good to know. And then down beneath this of course, oh, I understand. This is the entryway for combat. I get it. Okay, well, that makes a degree of sense. So this is the combat entrance side, and then over here, this other construction appears to be open up, and it's okay. It's a bridge tower. It's a bridge tower to get across, and then this tower goes all the way up to here, which could be a barracks, I assume, but doesn't seem to be active. And then there's some ranged tower stuff set up here with steel bolts around the edges. I'm sure that would work to a degree. And then for the actual basement levels of the fortress, because we made it down to the machining level, we can move down and in. We've got more bedrooms, of course, set up. Actually, no, never mind. Sorry, that is the hospital, not more bedrooms. And then we have another dining hall and another dining hall. And then over here we have another guild hall and, of course, the bottom half of the hospital. We have this little tomb down here, as well as trading space and various other spaces for people to gaze upon as they enter into the fortress. And then the lower decks, the lower levels, we have a row of these lovely, well, obviously I know what these are called, ballistas, I can read, that will then fire to the end, as of course there's also lava and water, and then you can drop the lava and water down into here and crush it all, so it might as well not exist anymore. And then down here, we have some dragons here, a trained dragon, of course, as well as some stray dragon hatchlings. Look at that. Something I don't think I've ever actually seen in Dwarf Fortress is dragon hatchlings. Isn't that beautiful? Absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. And they are of course, tameable now that they have the baby variants. A couple other animals we have around, and then, of course, drainage for the patterns. And then the base of the fortress just kind of goes down, 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 down through all of this for construction. All of the strip mining. And that's about as far down as I think I'm going to go. Actually, potential spoilers here. Close your eyes if you're scared of spoilers. I'll tell you when you can open your eyes verbally. So, continue playing the video. Just close your eyes. As we go down, you can, of course, see the strip mined hidden fun stuff all the way down to the base. Okay, so they avoided the candy. That makes sense. Not too spoilery, but very well strip mined. As we move up, back out, it is now safe for those of you who are spoiler sensitive to open your eyeballs. But this is Heavenfall. Possibly the most impressive construction I've seen in this version of the game. You know, I like to think I've built some pretty aesthetically cool forts, but, you know, this is a tower that goes from layer 89 all the way down, all the way down, all the way down to, basically I would say this layer, 16. Plus the 2 side towers on this glorious river embark. Truly a feat of Dwarven engineering. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you would like to see more videos like it, check out this YouTube channel. There's a huge playlist of these. And also, if you would like to send in a fortress for me to have a look at on this show, I've finally made it through my backlog. You can find that over, you can simply send in more fortresses via the DF Save sharing room on my Discord, and I will get to them quite quickly now. Thank you very much for watching. If you would like to support this channel directly, you can do that via my Patreon. My patrons are on the screen right now. And if you would like to support me further, you can do that via my Twitch streams by simply tuning into twitch.tv/BLINDIRL. Thank you very much for watching. If you would like to trigger this siege, go download this save file yourself.